All right, 103.3 Amp Radio. Fan of the guy as a artist and as a human being. We have Marc E. Bassy here.
Hey, you're a fan of me as a human being,
as a human being
I'm
too,
a fan
man.
of you as a human being too, man.
And we do Boston right, and you do well in the market here too, like with all the colleges and like that.
Yeah.
This is not the first rodeo. So what are the thoughts now that you've gotten a couple of Boston dates underneath your belt? Like, what do you enjoy about the city?
Well, I just recently discovered this Boylston Rodeo Drive looking street. That was very swanky and
Newbury.
nice. Newbury.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That place is beautiful. I was checking out Paul Revere's grave. There's a lot of history here, a lot of cool historical monuments that you can look at. I saw where the Boston Tea Party was at, and then we even went to this speakeasy last night, thanks to you, which was very, very cool. Had some really good mezcal.
Mm-hmm.
Started seeing things later on.
I told you. You said it takes a lot for you to get, schmam-bammed. But I told you, bro, a couple drinks from there, bro, they'll have you climbing down some stairs.
It was good. It was great. And then I woke up this morning and ran a couple miles and got in the sauna. I felt great. You can still see I'm probably pretty red. I was really in there.
Well, it's different. You were here
releasing some
snowing
demons
and shit last time.
Yeah. That's what we were going to say. Usually we come here and we're like, yeah, Boston's great. And it's like 10 degrees. But this time, this was the best weather we've ever had in Boston.
By far, dog.
Yeah,
it's been pretty smacking. So you're on tour with Jon Bellion.
Yep.
And how's that going?
It's pretty interesting. This is it's packed out.
Yeah.
It's like we sell out. We do like arenas and big amphitheaters. Or I don't know what's it.
Oh, he does well. Yeah, amphitheaters.
It's like 5,000 and up. We're doing some pavilion today.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the Concord Pavilion.
They always change it. I think it's Rockland.
Rockland.
Hills.
Rockland. Okay. But it's an interesting tour because usually I'm on tour with rappers who like the musicality of the show is never the focal point. And I'm never getting pushed like, damn, like that guy like is killing. Like usually, like I'm on tour with G-Eazy or like Kyle. I'm never like gotta step my game up tonight, like on piano and get my band better and sing better because it's more of a spectacle and it's a rap show. This show, Jon's a killer musician. He has an incredible like 7-8 piece band, and so I brought out a band this tour also. So we've been like pushing each other to get better and better and be more theatrical on stage, jump in the crowd, sing better, just the whole thing. So it's been kind of one of the first tours where the fun in it isn't just the like sex, drugs, rock and roll craziness, but it's actually fun to be like, damn, I'm gonna like this part of the song I'm gonna play really good tonight, sing really good, and it's a little more professional in that way maybe, but it's also a little more rewarding perhaps. So.
Yeah, and what have you learned musically? Has he gotten a chance to like watch your set, give you any kind of advice or anything like that?
No, I'm not taking advice. It's not like that. It's just I'm inspired. But he's a great musician, and I like just watching his show and then picking up on things that him and his band do musically is cool. And then just like every time I go out, I always have a studio in the back of the bus. I've just been like practicing on this tour, and I'm like I have ADD. It's hard for me to practice anything for too long. So I just been kind of locked in, and we just finished up an album. Still kind of like been recording new music, but we finished up Postmodern Depression, which comes out end of September. So we're just kind of putting it all together, and being on tour, that's just always the best way to keep that momentum going and get everyone excited, because it's just you're consumed by your music, by your performance, the team around you. So it's just been a good way to kind of transition into our new label and into our new album.
Yeah, speaking of that, so I won't have you get into the specifics as far as what it means to be an independent artist, but why did you personally make that decision for you as a business, as a musician, for your brand specifically?
I just think everyone knows like the best thing that a major label can offer you now is major radio promotion. But if you have a name, if you've had some success at radio and you can tour, you're going to make more money being an independent artist and taking control of your own destiny, owning your masters. I was like really inspired by Nipsey and just a lot of independent I mean, Kendrick, Drake, all like Cole, like all these top artists, they have their own imprints, and you know, whether they're through a distributor, not to get all technical or whatever, or through
break it down,
or through a major label, whatever. You want to get to be owning more than 15% of your master, because we make money on streaming now. So that was the goal. Like, just let's own 85%, you know, out of 100 instead of 15 if we can. And so that's kind of what we did. And then truthfully, like, I wasn't even thinking about coming back with like any type of commercial radio single, but then I just made one out of spite, kind of.
Sometimes that's how it works,
I'm kidding,
bro.
but I was just a little motivated because I left Republic and I was like, actually, I'm gonna make one.
Might need one of these slappers.
Got back in with Nick Nack and we just did it.
And Nick Nack is an incredible producer, and you guys have known each other for so long, dude. You guys have been like your own clique for a minute. He produced Loyal. What are some other? I mean, he's produced a ton of records for
I'm
Chris.
the One, No Brainer.
I'm the One, Khaled
Loyal
stuff.
Yeah. He also has done like lesser known stuff that's really good too, like Kevin Gates, I Don't Get Tired. He did that, which is low key a classic. I think he'd probably say that's his favorite. He did some. I mean, he's done tons of stuff, but we've been working together since before I was even started this solo career. We worked on, we wrote together on a lot of stuff, Sean Kingston, Chris Brown stuff. So, I mean, we were roommates for 3 years. We're just all family.
You guys have just known each other for so long, dude.
Yeah,
so the
exactly.
continuity is there, and that's dope that you guys haven't nothing with, even with the success of all those records, like y'all know each other to a point where it's not gonna get real funky. You know what I'm saying? As far as people changing.
No, hell.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, all of us, we all go through our shit like anyone who's knew each other before LA life and then got into all that together. It's always going to be things that happen. People start making money, it turns just like regular life, yeah, family shit. But it's nice to see that we always kind of come back to each other. And so, shout out Nick Nack, Bobby Brackens, that's my people.
So Bobby was my first radio interview, by the way.
No
Did you know
way.
That? Yeah. He was because when I started radio, 143 was smacking, and then Jay Espinoza was his DJ on the road. Yeah, and Bob was my first. That's on YouTube somewhere. Hopefully they deleted it at the station thing, bro. But yeah, that's what's up. So the new record is Diehard. Talk about the record. Obviously produced by Nick Nack. You dyed your hair for it. Is like or did you dye your hair specifically for this launch?
Sure.
Video, whatever.
No, I mean, we had. I don't really know why. I just felt like dyeing my hair one day, but then I was like, "What color am I gonna dye it?" And I just dyed it the color of the cover art. And then we were like, "Well, we should do a music video that kind of incorporates this." So we did like this little. I'm in like a bathtub. I had to get butt naked for the video in front of a bunch of people.
Actually, butt naked.
That
Were you
new.
uncomfortable, bro?
It was a little. The funny part was it's like a tub in the middle of like an infinity wall, and there's a plug in the bottom of it. And so like I get and I get in and I just immediately sit on the plug and it just drains all the water out. So I'm just like
tight.
Naked. It's freezing cold, and I'm just in there. This was a kind of a vulnerable situation, but it was all good. I was really glad I did it. So, but the blue hair wasn't. I'm not too premeditated with stuff like that, but I'm kind of glad. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, no
People
doubt.
look at me funny.
What's wrong with that?
Yeah, well, who cares?
Then you could just change it back. Then you're Gucci.
Yeah, it's all good.
All right, so you're on tour right now, and it's important for you, I guess, from gossip columns to this project. It seems like you're addressing some things head on that I think a lot of people are dealing with. Talk about kind of the direction your music is going since gossip columns, and the music before that, but specifically where you're at now.
I think that my music, there's kind of a theme that's always tied together, which has a lot to do with me towing the line between the excesses of living in Hollywood and being part of this whole thing that we've become a part of, and trying to be a wholesome individual kind of, and that's always an issue. But more specifically this time, I'm kind of taking more of like, whereas in the past it was all about me and like, me, how I feel, what's going on. Now it's kind of me seeing, a new wave, a new generation, and me more so almost being like a commentator and expressing. Like sometimes I'm in it, but also sometimes I'm outside of it looking on in this one. So Postmodern Depression is about, we live in a time where people are more connected than ever, but they feel more alone than ever.
Facts.
And that's just like it's a crazy world out there. And I didn't like postmodern depression. That was just like a little term that I used to use, because first it's like Andy Warhol said, in the future, everyone will be famous for 15 minutes. That's where 15 minutes of fame comes from.
Yeah.
Also a song on my album. And I was always kind of like, damn, I can't believe that he like predicted that. That's such an odd thing to predict. And now it's such a dominant part of culture. And everyone, like, all people want to do is just be famous on Instagram. Like, more than they want to be a doctor or a lawyer, more than they want to learn how to be good at anything, just like, please, like, smack me in the face with a frying pan and like put it on academics and like let me be famous. And it's just like, damn.
Why did that visual just make a lot of sense?
I'm just thinking of like the dumbest thing I can think of, but like that's really what it is. And so, that's pretty weird. That's a weird time to live in. And then that combined with like everyone and all this new music being about being depressed. And then there's also like, are you really depressed? Or are you just depressed because like your Instagram's not popping? Or like, do you not get enough attention? I was like, those kind of themes, half the album is sort of like addressing that. And then I still put in like the bangers that I just love. Like, Diehard is more like a relationship based song. So it's not like every song is like some social commentary or critique, but a good amount of it is. And I never really flexed that before. I did on my first project was Only the Poets, and that was all like that. But that was ahead, people like are just now like, oh, like Only the Poets was deep, and like everyone's into James Baldwin now. And like a lot of the writers and authors and quotes that I used on my earlier stuff, now I see people like really picking up and like everywhere on Twitter. So I'm trying to like bring it back in a little bit.
Feel you. And are you allowed to say some of the people that are going to be on there?
Yeah, sure. I have 070 Shake. Word. From Good Music. She's dope. I have Tory Lanez. Tory Lanez on a big song. That's really dope. Who else do we have? Black Bear.
I was just going to say, are you allowed to say the Bear joint?
Yeah, the Black Bear joint's hot. Black Bear joint's really like, could be on the radio too. So
yeah.
It's a banger. Huh?
Bassy?
Mozzie,
not Bassy. Who's in?
Word.
Oh, snap.
That's the feature I'm most proud of.
Wow, of course. Yeah, of course. Hey,
Yeah. Who else got records with Haley Steinfeld and Mozzie, bro? I'm gonna gotta be the only one of all time. They could go that far. I got the most hood rapper on planet Earth and a full like teen pop star on my.
Hey, bro, that's the balance. And speaking of, some pop stars, Zendaya's from the town too, bro. And you're a Euphoria fan.
Well, I'm the jury's. I don't know if I'm a Euphoria fan. I only saw a couple, but it was. I mean, I'm a fan. It was incredible. But then we debated what we thought about the last scene, me and Bob and Fest today. Did you see the finale?
Yeah, no, I saw the finale.
What did you think of the final scene?
I thought it was dope. And plus, I don't know if they... It
didn't bother you that she just did the full homecoming Beyonce?
I didn't even pick... I'll be honest, man. I didn't even pick that up.
What?
I'll just be honest. I didn't pick that up. And I don't think they like planned for a second season. I don't think they knew. I think they had that ending already there. It kind of... I thought it ended great.
Encapsulates PMD. It's like, what are we doing? Like all this beautiful imagery and all just for like to glorify depression.
Is that how you view it? Was high school like that for you? Was like watching Euphoria? For me, I don't know, dude. In my area, I didn't. Well, of course, we had some similar stuff, but I really wasn't around drugs and booze that much.
Pills started in like 2007.
Oh, okay.
That's when like my girlfriend graduated in 2007, and I remember like her class was like the first class where people died of like pill overdoses. And I had graduated like a year before, and I was like, we just smoked blunts and like got
that's what I mean.
fights.
I just don't remember any of that.
No, but I just think my point isn't that stuff doesn't happen. That stuff all for sure happens all the time. Like the show is not off, but it's just weird to me that that's like the pinnacle of cinematography and all that is going towards this like basic like high school drug. I don't know. I guess that's what I always did. That's probably what the 80s was. That's what the
I mean, no, I mean it's just different now because like cell phones and the way people are interacting. So I'm sure it was like somewhat similar back then. That wasn't my high school experience, so I was just like wild to think that is some of the shit that's really happening.
It's a TV show.
Yeah, but they said like it's pretty accurate, dog. Like it was wild. So you didn't like it?
I do like it. I only saw like 3 of them.
So you were just hating on the last scene, on the Beyonce
I just
scene.
was like, what? All of a sudden, like the drum line came out and like the full, like halftime, like college band.
I didn't pick it up, dog. Why you act like Beyonce's the first person to invent like a drum line type?
There's this new thing of like, it's just hard for me. There's a difference between things like really changing and people really like changing their behavior and being better people, and people just, and like representation changing. Like just because the is like a drum line all of a sudden and it's like inspired by like a historically black college halftime show, you didn't like change the world just because you put that on. Beyonce, she changes the world because it's Beyonce.
Right.
But then when you like, you know, when you do that just to like get your song, this is not against Zendaya.
Yeah, no. I don't view it as that. I don't view it as that.
I'm very sensitive to things that come off as like ploys to me or like, you know, just self-promotion, not self-promotion, but whatever. It's like that happens and then like the song is #1 on iTunes or like whatever.
Well, I mean, it was the biggest show, so that's what, and plus Zendaya hasn't had like a musical record in a
she
minute.
Killed it. She
crushed it.
Good. I was like, yeah, I was really impressed by that.
Does she want to do more music? Because I know like your Cam.
You know who started her in music?
Bob. Isn't that crazy?
Zendaya's dad was Bob's PE teacher in high school.
No way.
Yeah, and he saw them in an elevator, and the story, legend has it, he just convinced them to do music.
Wow, and so she's got to want to like get back in.
I think like music is a little, I mean, if you can get money modeling and acting, you don't have to tour.
Yeah.
You make more money probably. It's easier. You
Yeah.
can stay in LA probably for the most part. Music is like a real battle. You got to fight every day, especially if you're not a songwriter and you're not all the way like into it. I think acting is probably maybe more fulfilling than just being like a pop singer, unless you're like obsessive, like unless singing is like your thing.
Yeah, it's more.
But she was killing that thing. So
yeah, she crushed. She
Yeah.
crushed. All right, man. Anything we got to add here? You got the album coming out probably in September. You're on tour still.
Album comes out September. We're gonna go back on the road and do our first headline tour in a while, top of the next year.
Word.
And Diehard is out now. We just getting it going, so you know.
There it
we'll
is,
see
man.
what happens.
Marc E. Bassy. If you didn't catch him now, you're gonna catch him back in the town. And is there anything left on the Boston bucket list?
I want to go on a.
Don't say a duck boat. Don't say the duck boat, dog.
I was gonna say duck boat, but I just saw it looks so weak.
It is semi-weak. You saw what rating it got, dog. It got a 3.5 out of 10, dog.
I saw like 4 of them today. I didn't realize
of course,
like
they're all over, bro.
Like they have these like amphibious vehicles.
Amphibious vehicles.
Yeah, they can really like do dirt on sea and on land. But the duck boat just looks like a boat on like a platform with like it looks like a boat being carried by a trailer. So I wasn't that impressed. Yes, it does. It's like a
That's
boat.
fair. That's fair, bro. I mean, but you've seen Paul Revere's house.
Oh no, fine. I want to go to the north side and get like the real seafood because every time we come here, we
the
go
north
to,
end.
We, the north end. Sorry,
yeah.
We go to Legals, and we think we're doing dirt, and everyone's like, And then I was realizing like it's like when people go to get like the bread bowl clam chowder in San Francisco, and they're like, I went to, and like you could have got that at like the airport, which we also do.
I don't want to.
We go to Legals at the airport. We go here. We've been to every single one, and every time we're like, we're going to Boston. We're gonna go get that real Boston seafood.
You end up at Legals.
So I want to go to a real seafood spot that's credible that people don't laugh at me anymore about.
Dog, next door to the pavilion.
Today,
I told you, dog.
right?
Yankee Lobster, bro. I'm trying to put you on game.
Yankee Lobster, we're coming tonight.
Oh man, Marc E. Bassy, y'all be on the lookout, bro. Sam Radio.
Thank you, man.